An hour west of Portland, Salem, and Eugene, the Oregon coast is an unconventional paradise. It's notoriously cold and damp, but that's not all bad. I grew up on the West Coast, did a stint on the Gulf Coast, and now live on the East Coast. And where the coast in the Pacific Northwest lacks in hospitable weather, it certainly makes up for in charm. My friend Matthew and I are here to show you what and who makes this place so special. This is Locals Anywhere. Matthew and I have known each other since elementary school. We share a common enjoyment in the food, drink, places, and people that possess something special that you can't quite put your finger on. We hit the ground running with a spontaneous stop at the Tillamook factory, home of world-renowned cheese and ice cream. This is Levi, a native of Tillamook, an employee of Tillamook, and an enthusiast of all they create.
Myself, I actually grew up in Tillamook, and I've been here my whole life. Worked here for almost 6 years now. There's definitely a lot of pride that comes with that. I remember a long time ago, Dad would always have chocolate peanut butter ice cream in the freezer. So always come home from school, get some ice cream, let it melt a little bit so you get those pieces you can pick out. But
thanks for the tip, Levi. But Tillamook isn't owned by shareholders or a parent company, and perhaps that's what makes it so special.
We now have 55 farmer owners that are part of the company here. So we're still farmer owned, not publicly traded. We rose to become one of the most popular cheese and ice cream brands in the full country. And we've done that with having no artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives, so completely natural, our whole process. Say we're starting from the production side, so milk's already been received. And then go into these cooking vats. It's gonna be about 70 minutes to 2 hours to cook time, after which it's heading over to go through a cheddaring process, which is basically moving any additional whey that comes from that herd. And then it's a long wait, about 60 days. Something that I really enjoy about Tillamook and also kind of the Pacific Northwest in general, absolutely beautiful. You can go anywhere around the area. You've always got plenty of sites to see. Tillamook specifically, this has been kind of like a staple for the area. I've always grown up around here, enjoying all the products, enjoying the locations. There's a lot of sense of community around here too. Tillamook as a company does a lot of community outreach too, which is always nice. So you get a lot of pretty good benefits, but one of those amazing benefits is dairy benefits. We get, I would say, each person will have about 20 pounds of cheese for free a year. That's a minimum.
We cheers to some cheese and went on our way to the next stop. There's something special about a sleepy small town on the coast with a healthy independent bookshop, and that's what brought Wynn and his family to Manzanita, Oregon, population 617.
I'm only partially kidding when I said I want to live in a small town that has a bookstore. So this was the perfect place because, like, I was joking with someone else who came in today about how it's not that I have to live in a specific town. I was like, I just want to live in a place that's comfortable and a place that can keep a bookstore alive. Because I was like, if it's a small town and it has a library and a bookstore, you know that there's like a certain set of values about it. And then we've just been coming out here since I was a kid. So
we're here at Cloud and Leaf Bookstore, and in an age of 2-day deliveries and e-readers, well, this small town bookstore is doing just fine.
I mean, I think the places that end up having bookstores are the places where people go specifically to check out a little bit. Right. So like, I think of each town it's easy to say, hey, I don't want to be on a device. I don't want to even have an e-reader. I want to support the community I'm visiting or the community I live in. And then also just spend some time not connecting via, doing multiple things at the same time, like I'm trying to do.
When he moved to this small town, he became a regular at Cloud and Leaf, and he liked it so much he scored a gig behind the counter.
Came in here all the time, and then I was just like, after the 10th time I said, hey, do you mind if I come help out?
That's awesome.
Anytime you need help, I'll come in, and so that's what I do.
There's something to be found for everyone, and if you're looking for book recommendations, Wynn can help.
My top book for recommending recently is Angle of Repose by Walt Stegner, just because it tells about people who've moved from the east to the west as it was developing. And I feel like I've heard a lot about frontier people coming out to do things like mines and gold, but that's more about people that come to settle it and bring art and culture and help it pivot from business to living. And it's just beautifully written. So highly recommended.
Right on. Not very good.
Thanks, Wynn. Thanks to the recommendation of our friend Wynn, we're right next door at Dixie's Vino in Manzanita. What better way to compliment our cheese and a book than a bottle of wine? A small shop with its owner and sole employee, Dixie, a wine lover and a wealth of knowledge. I've been around a lot of America and some of the world, and I've been surprised to find Oregon wines on the shelf. There's a reason for that.
The terroir has a lot to do with it. That's why we do well with Pinot, because it's not overly hot, temperate weather. It's an important region for sure. Oregon is famous for their Pinot Noirs and Chardonnays.
It's hard to leave Dixie's Vino empty-handed. So, onward we went with a bottle of Oregon wine. It was the goal of this production to harvest and cook fresh mussels from the ocean.
To harvest nature's bounty with the Pacific Ocean mussel.
But Mother Moon and her extreme tides had other plans for us.
Turns out there's no mussels here. So
this is still high tide, so we're not having any luck.
we're here because it's low tide right now.
Oh well, we'll get her next time. It's onward to Lincoln City, where we took a peek at the art of glassblowing at Lincoln City Glass Center. This place was loud, it was hot, and it certainly wasn't conducive to good filmmaking, but here we are anyways.
We have 4 glory holes where you are reheat holes that are gas furnaces. One back here, this is one of our electric furnaces that holds the molten glass.
Holy crap.
It's hot, yeah.
Here's Daniel, one of the glassblowing artisans here, and there's what he does.
Around the end of this rock, have that honey-like consistency.
Oh yeah.
This is already moving.
It's quite the process, a little bit of art, a little bit of science, and Daniel's the expert.
And it's hot enough to fuse those chips. So you can see how some of them are kind of melted in, but most of them are still jagged. I can, like the table, cool that bottom while I add some air, creating a larger bubble. I can also use these long blades.
The Oregon coast has been a special place for glassblowing, and there's a reason for that.
One thing that's popular glass blowing is nice climates. So Oregon coast doesn't get too hot in the summer. That's one big upside out here.
See you later, Daniel. For a punctuation mark on this coastal odyssey, some local beer will certainly suffice.
All right, we're here at Newport Brewing Company. They're brewing some beers today, and we're gonna check it out.
Here's Brody, and here's his operation, Newport Brewing Company.
We opened up in August of 19.
And then the pandemic happened about 6 months later, and kind of a fun ride since.
Here's where it starts, with raw ingredients sourced from the Pacific Northwest.
Mass is sitting there for about an hour, sitting on the
A lot of the nitty-gritty went over our heads, but that's okay because we thoroughly enjoyed the finished product.
And then I got your flight for you guys.
Heck yeah. For a brewery this young, business is good.
We're cruising along. We have 2 distributors in Oregon. We're in a lot of Corvallis, Albany. We're some in Eugene, Bend, Roseburg, all the way up and down the entire coast from Brookings to Astoria.
Into the ferment
The magic here at Newport Brewing Company comes from the details.
And then we'll dry hop it. So we'll put another 22 pounds
For
of
Brody, the magic is in Newport.
Family's been here 100 years, you know. My grandpa helped work on the bridge with this little bill. It's just home, you know. I mean, it's a small community, good spot to raise your kids.
Brody hooked us up with some sweet drip and even better beer, and for that, we are grateful.
Right on, guys. Cheers. Cheers.
So that's it. To the Brodies, to the Levis, to the Wins, to the Dixies, to the Daniels, and to all the other creators, craftsmen, and wonderful inhabitants that make this place so special, don't change a thing. To the coast, where lush forests meet unforgiving surf, thanks for letting us into your world. And to the travelers, make an unexpected stop. Take the long way. Meet the makers and the laborers. Enjoy the food and drink and all the beauty these lands have to offer. And you too can be a local anywhere.